my channel. Thanks so much for joining me. I am sitting here at my messy desk and I am in the middle of working my way through a little Golden Book junk journal. Now, it's been a hot minute since I have worked in a little Golden Book junk journal, and it's kind of thrown me for a loop. So I feel like I'm finally getting my groove here. And I thought, I've got some pages that I need to do here. So I thought, just turn on the camera and let's just roll with it. Let's just see what happens. So this little Golden Book is a Wizard of Oz, and I'm actually doing 2 of them. These are our girls' trip. We went to Las Vegas like a little over a month ago, and the whole purpose of us going to Las Vegas was to go see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. So I decided that that is kind of the theme I would take as far as journaling this trip. So I have done a few pages throughout here, and now I am on to the Sphere when we actually saw the Wizard of Oz. Now I've done a few pages in here, just a few. I've got more that I need to do. I've got a pile of stuff over here to my side, and I've already done the pages in my journal. This is my friend's journal. I've already done the pages in my journal, so I'm going to go ahead and recreate those pages in here. That, for the sake of time, makes it so much easier if I, excuse me, if I take my time and go through one journal and then I recreate those pages over here. I'm not quite sure what's going on with my voice today, but I'll make my way through it. If not, I will just do a little voiceover, but we'll see what's happening here. So I did this title page and I feel like it's missing something. I don't feel like it's complete. So I worked my way in my journal. I worked my way through a few pages, and then it hit me what I wanted to do. So when I was ordering all of my stuff for the Wizard of Oz, I picked up this package from the paper house, and it's a Wizard of Oz pack, and it's got, can you see these little die cuts in here? They're realistic die cuts, so they're actually they're actual movie characters. And there's 2 of each of them, and I love that because I was like, oh, I can use one in my book, one in her book. And the more I looked at the more I was like, I don't know that I'm really going to use them. Some of them have glitter on them. I was like, I don't know. But as I worked my way through my pages in my journal, I love them. And I really have used all of them. I've used every single one of them in my journal. So what I had left was these 3. So I had the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man. And I was like, what can I do with them? And what had kind of occurred to me was putting them on a piece of acetate and just kind of including them as a separate page. And then I thought to this page, and I thought, what if I took a piece of acetate and put these 3 on there for kind of an intro where you can see the title page behind it, but it gives you just a little bit more something. So that is what I did in mine, and I love the way that it turned out. I've got mine right over here to the side so it makes it easy to copy it. So I think that's what I'm going to do right now. I just want to get that page out of the way. This could not have been easier. Let me set this to the side. So I've got my piece of acetate here. And then I'm just going to take these 3 and stick them on here. So these are stickers. And so I just need to peel off the backing. And then we're just going to add these to the acetate. And this worked out so well. I love the cute little look of this. So there's that one. And we did the Tin Man in the middle. And he's got a couple little pieces here in between his arms. Just need to pull those out. Like, this could not have been any simpler, but I love the impact that it makes. And you'll see that in just a second. All right, so we'll throw the Tin Man on here. And then we'll put our little Cowardly Lion over here. Now, me being the semi-perfectionist that I am, it bugs me that he's looking off the page, but there was really no other way, because if I would have switched those, he would have gone over here too and been looking out as well. So it just is what it is. Okay, so look at how cute that is. Didn't that, like, that just makes such an impact. I love the way that that looks. And then this is a separate page. It opens and we've got our title page. All right, so all I need to do now is just go ahead and tape this in. So let's get that done. And I tape it on both sides. Don't stick there. And I'll line it up, make sure it lines up with the other pages. And it does. And then we just need to tape it on this back side. So cute. All right. That is taped in there. And now we've got this kind of, just this see-through page. I love the effect that that adds. So we've got them there. Now the other thing I did, somewhere I wanted to put Off to See the Wizard. So I used my Dymo label punch and I just created Off to See the Wizard. So I'm just going to pull that. I may have to, nope, there it is, okay. So we'll add this up here, Off to See the Wizard. Okay, so we've got that there. All right, now I feel like this is complete. I love the way that this looks and I'm happy with my title page. So yay, that is super, super cute. All right, so moving on. I've done this page about the package that we purchased. We purchased the Bad Witch package, which gave us kind of like VIP access. We had a special VIP room where we got snacks and drinks, and we got to see some memorabilia from Debbie Reynolds' Wizard of Oz collection. So after she passed, her collection, people were able to use pieces of her collection, and part of her collection, she owns the one of the 3 original pairs of ruby red slippers. So we got to see this. We got to see this as a flying monkey costume. There were scripts. There was all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it was a really fun behind the scenes experience. Now, if you were to ask me, do I think it was worth the ticket price? No, I do not. It to me just was not worth what we paid for it. But I'm happy that we did it. I'm happy that it gave me bits and pieces of ephemera to use throughout. So actually these 2 came from this popcorn box. So we were able to take some of our snacks with us into the Sphere to see the movie, and this had popcorn in it. And I'm not a huge fan of popcorn, but I wanted the box. So I grabbed 3 of the boxes, and I've used them, obviously these 2 in mine and these 2 in hers. And then I've also utilized the side of the box here. So again, just lots of ephemera. This was a stir stick that was included in our drinks. This is a QR code. And I will show you guys in a few minutes how I do a QR code. I've had a couple people ask me after my Salt Lake City journal flip through how I make QR codes, and I'll share that with you guys in just a few minutes. But yeah, so these pages are done. So now I've got the actual getting into the Sphere, watching the movie pages that I need to do. So let's see where we need to start over here. So I've got my pictures all printed and I've got my papers cut to what I need to do. So these are the pictures that I'm going to include. Well, that's only one. This is a screenshot of our actual ticket. And then this is one of the sides of that popcorn box. So I've utilized it on this, but I'm going to utilize the other side as well. Okay, so this, I am going to tear this down a little bit. I love a torn edge, and I love adding just a little something to the page. Okay, so let's just tear that, see what we've got. Now my photo will cover up most of this, so it isn't like a huge impact that it's going to add, because truly my page is covered with photos, but that's okay. I know it's there, right? Okay. Now this paper that I'm using is a Wizard of Oz pack from Carta Bella that I got on scrapbook.com. I bought the whole collection. I bought the paper, I bought the sticker pack, there's a little ephemera pack, and then there's a cardstock, or not cardstock, a chipboard. And I bought that as well. I'm not a fan of using chipboard in my journals because I think it just adds too much bulk. But I have them. I don't know if I'll use any of them, but I did buy them, so who knows. All right, so I'm going to trim. I printed all of my pictures with a border, but a lot of them I ended up trimming that border off just because I needed them to fit a little better than they did. So this is a photo of us sitting in front of the screen at the Sphere. This was the first time either of us had been to the Sphere, and it was phenomenal. It was so, so good. I would love to see a concert there. Seeing the Wizard of Oz there was amazing. You are completely surrounded. If you're not familiar with the Sphere, it's the big dome that is relatively new in Las Vegas. And they have concerts there. I think Kenny Chesney is there right now. They've had the Backstreet Boys. They've had the Eagles. They've had U2. They've had all kinds of groups there. But they also do the Wizard of Oz, and I know it's there through the end of the year. I'm not sure what the plans are for it after that, but if you have a chance to see something at the Sphere, go see it. It was unbelievable. You are surrounded by screen. We were completely immersed in Dorothy's house. Like everywhere you looked, I've got video of it actually, and everywhere you look, there is Dorothy's house. It was crazy. It's so hard to explain what it was like, but it was just this like 4D experience. But the best part, and I've got again more video of it, but there we go. Okay, so that page was easy. That page was super easy. It was just adding the screenshot of our ticket, the popcorn box, this full 4x6 photo, and then just adding something here to break up that. So in mine, I have a sticker that says "Welcome to Emerald City." But okay, so then over here on this side, I'm going to add, I've got this scrap of paper here, and it's got a hole in it. This comes from the 6x6 paper pad for the Wizard of Oz collection. And it's got the hole in it, which I don't know why they put a hole in the paper, but oh well. So we're gonna add to this, I've got another photo of the screen. I've got this little photo of us. This was playing after the movie. It was kind of a photo op. Like the whole big background of this was the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere with Dorothy and the crew walking into Emerald City. So we took a selfie there, and I've also got like another screenshot of the event. And then these are the ruby red slippers. So, and I don't know if you can tell, but they've got, let me see if I can, might be hard to focus on right there, but they've got glitter on them. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to use them, but I really like the look of it. So I'm going to go ahead and use them. So I think what I'm going to do, yeah, let's do that. Maybe I want to tear this down just a little bit. I think I will. Now you can see this, my photo is going to go right here, and that's going to cover that hole. So I'm okay using that. So let's go ahead and ink this up. So, but as I was saying, it's a complete 4D experience, and it's pretty phenomenal. There's a part with the tornado. There's a couple parts actually that were just so great. There's a part at the beginning when the tornado comes, and you are literally caught in what feels like a tornado. They have all these big fans that come up and they blow leaves around. I'll show you those in just a minute because I did save some of the leaves to add to this page. But it was pretty crazy. It was so funny. We were laughing so hard. Like, the wind was crazy. It was crazy. You really did truly feel like you were in the middle of this tornado. I'm going to trim some of this white off of here because this one has a little bit more of a white border than I want. So we're just going to trim it off. But it was such a fun experience. And then there's a part, I'm sure if you know anything about Wizard of Oz at the Sphere, there's a part where Dorothy and the Tin Man, well, Dorothy and the crew end up at the apple trees. And as the apple trees shake, there are stuffed apples that fall from the ceiling of the sphere. And so if you catch an apple, you get to keep it. And the whole purpose of us getting this Bad Witch package was that we were in the seats where it makes it possible to catch an apple. And so that was my whole goal. I was like, I want to catch an apple. I want to catch an apple. And I was very disappointed because I had seen videos before, and to me, the video seemed like there was a lot of apples that fell from the sky. But when we were there, and our experience was not that. I felt like there was maybe 20, 25 apples that fell from the sky, and we were not able to catch one, which was very disappointing. But behind us was a little girl that was celebrating her 10th birthday, and her whole birthday wish was to catch an apple. So her and her little sister caught the apple, which I was very happy that they did. So if I can't catch one, I'm glad that someone who was celebrating their 10th birthday did. So yeah. Let's see. So we're going to add these slippers. I'm getting glitter all over my hand. And I think I'm going to kind of tuck them a little bit. Now, I did not add these originally on mine. And when I went back, I was like, I need something in this space. And I didn't know what it was. Didn't know what I was going to do. And then I found the slippers. And I'm like, it kind of ties in with the reds here. And it takes up that space that I was looking for it to take up. So we're going to just pop this. Grab these tweezers. Pull up this photo just a little bit. And we'll just tuck this back there. Does that look good? Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay. So we'll just add that there. And then I wanted to do a little something down here. Make sure those are all stuck down. And I think I went ahead and pulled these out. So on mine, I ended up with the blue one and Dorothy here. But I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Tin Man. We're just going to layer these two pieces up. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. I did so much prepping and planning ahead of time. Cut all my papers and chose all my embellishments and stuff ahead of time so that it would make this video go a little bit faster and I wouldn't have to do a voiceover. Luckily my voice is held up a little bit. I've got some twine. I'm gonna go ahead and add some twine to this. Oh, I need my scissors. Okay, so we'll just add some of this. This is from scrapbook.com too. This is from, oh, who is that? I can't read it. Design Your Life. So it's kind of a taupey color twine. I'm just going to add that to this and I'm just going to knot it here. Just to add some dimension to the pages, which I love to do. Okay, so I'm gonna trim that down. And then we'll add that there. Okay, love that. And now on mine, I took some of these paper flowers that I've got here. There's a couple purple ones because I like the purple with the background. But let's see, do I want to go with, I could go with purple and yellow. That would pull out the yellow there along with the purple. And I've got some darker color. Let me dump these out for a sec. I've got some darker color purples here. And I've got that one. And then I've got another yellow. Okay, let's do that. And then I'm just going to glue these on the page just for a little added something here. All right. So let's take this little darker one, medium one, I guess. Just add that there. Do a yellow. Add that there. And then maybe a light one. Okay, make sure those are stuck down. Those look good. Oh, that's cute. And then I'm gonna do another little cluster up here. So let's do this dark one. And this. Do I want to do 4. I'm not a fan of 4 in a cluster, but I've got 4 left. If I put that one there, is that cute? Just do it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, there we go. Okay, that page is done. All right, so these dry pretty quickly, and there's enough tack to that glue that's going to keep those there. Okay, so let's go on to the next page. We're trucking right along here. Okay, this one. All right, let's see here. We're going to start by taking a background, and again, I'm looking at my journal over here, and I am recreating the entire page. All right, I'm going to tear this. Or do I want to go that way? I might go that way with it because I think I want most of this to be covered up. So let me do that. I'm just going to kind of fold this right where I want it. And I'm just going to tear the edge. All right. And then this goes all the way to the bottom. This is going to get covered up with photos, so that isn't going to show. Pretty much the rest of this gets covered up. I'm just going to tear this here. This will all be covered up with photos, so you won't even be able to see that. So I'm just going to go in and ink this. This one was a page that I went back to and added more embellishments later. I added 2 more from that Wizard of Oz pack. And so I'll have to kind of see the best way to layer all of this stuff. Okay. All right, we're just gonna put that on there. I'm not a fan of a full background piece of paper. I like to have layered paper. So you'll see me do that a lot throughout this journal. Okay, photos. That might be the easiest place to start here with these photos. So because I had so many photos of the movie, I decided to do a collage with them. So let's see, let me grab these. All right. So I've got some of the black and white part of the movie, and I've got a lot of the color. So let's see what I did here. So I'm going to cut off the black and the white, or the black and white photos, because those go on a flip. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and pull these out. And these are going to end up all getting cut apart, so it's not a big deal. I'm going to set those aside for right now. I've got one more color one here that I need to cut off. I'm going to set the black and white ones aside because, again, that goes with the flip part of this page, and so I will add that in just a little bit. Okay, so now to this background, I am going to start at the bottom, I think, and I've got this full-size photo. I'm going to leave this the way that it is. This will allow me to get a lot of pictures on one page and not have to take up so much room in this journal. Okay. Let's put this aside. All right, now this is going to fit a little bit better. I just cut off the white portions. Okay, so we're going to add this here down at the bottom. Okay, and then on top of that, we're going to add this strip. Let me cut off a little bit of that bottom because that's a lot larger than I want it to be, that border. Okay, so we'll trim that off. All right, and then we'll add that here. I may have to tuck it underneath there a little bit so it's not so big. You know what? I need to cut off the edge pieces of this too. Okay. Let's cut off off those. I forgot to do that. A little more challenging once you've got the adhesive on the back. All right, and then all right, I think I may tuck this. Actually, I'm just going to lay it on top. I don't want all of that extra border showing there. Okay, so then we can add this here. Just going to add this little extra piece. I'm going to cut. That one looks actually pretty good. All right, so we're going to add that there. Okay, so now I've got some room over here that I'm going to add some embellishments. So I've got this rainbow and I've got Glinda. So I'm going to add the rainbow here. Let's peel off that. And we're just going to pop this rainbow right there. She fits perfect. Okay, and then we're going to add Glinda on top of it. And I'm going to tuck her behind this photo a little bit. So we've got her there. Perfect. Okay, now I need a little, I've got a little phrase here. This is the Carta Bella Wizard of Oz sticker sheet. So when on mine, I used this one. It says, believe in the magic. I don't have another large banner like that. I've got the Emerald City, but that's not really where we're at right now. Maybe I'll just take this believe and add it here. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna ink this a little bit. I should have probably inked my stickers, but that's okay. All right. Okay. That is done. All right, now I'm going to work on the flip. So to do the flip, I just took this vintage guest check that I have here, and I created this as my flip. So what I'm going to do is ink my edges on this. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut those apart. I think I did not end up using this one, so that's okay. I'm going to cut that one off and just throw that away because I didn't have room for it. So I'm not going to go ahead and add it, but we're going to trim down these just a little bit. And cut all 4 of these. This is basically just Dorothy when she sings Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And then when she goes to see the basically the wizard, but the fortune telling, the crystal ball guy, Mr. Marvel. Was that his name? Marvel? I don't remember. Okay, so I'm going to add these. There's my 4 little black and white ones. So let's put these down on the bottom. Let me move this up here so you can see this a little bit better. So I'm just going to add these to my guest check. And we're just going to line all of these 4 up. And it's crazy when everything is so much larger than life on the sphere screen, how different things look. Now you can tell, we talked about this a lot after the movie, you can tell that they used a lot of AI because obviously this movie is like, what is it, 80 some years old? So they've used a lot of AI to recreate some of the scenes. We're going to use Dorothy. This is Dorothy from that cutout pack, and I'm going to add her on here. But obviously there's a lot of AI, but we were laughing because because things are so large and oversized on that big, huge screen, you see a lot of details in the movie that you wouldn't have seen before. And so it was just funny to see because it was so blown up, we were able to see the skull caps on the Munchkins, and we were just cracking up. Sorry, battery shut off. But the detail that you see is crazy on that big of a screen. Okay, so to this, I'm going to add this picture that I've got of the tornado. I'm going to cut off the border on this too because it's with the border. It's a little bit too long. So we're going to go ahead and trim that border off. Okay. And I'm going to add this at the bottom. It's still a little bit large, so I'm going to cut that off. Sorry, I'm sure you guys can't see this. All right, let's do that. And we'll cut off that excess. So my whole goal in this was to, in creating this, was to save as much space as possible. We did so many things. We saw so many things. We went so many places. This was her first trip to Vegas. And so I kind of wanted her to give her like the Vegas experience. And so we went so many places and did so many things. I've got so many photos. Yeah, so I need to save as much space as I can. And by creating flips, this allows me to do that. So I added, let me show you something real quick. So this page was not original when I made the book. I went ahead and added this page in here. Obviously this was not a page. I've added that one. So it's super easy to just go in and add pages where you need them. And I think I'm going to need to be doing a lot of that. Also creating a lot of flips, possibly some pockets, that kind of stuff, just to save some space in here. I am almost, I think by the time I finish the Wizard of Oz section, I will be halfway through my second of 3 signatures. So I need to kind of conserve some space because we still got a lot left to do. But, okay, so now these are the leaves that I was saying were blowing around during the tornado scene. And maybe if I can think about it, I will insert that footage because it was so funny. So I'm going to I'm going to stick these down here, and then I'm going to attach QR codes to this. I've got QR codes of the tornado scene, of us laughing hysterically through the tornado scene, all that kind of stuff. So I've got, I think, 4 QR codes that I'm going to add. So what I'm going to do is just stick these down and just kind of layer them here as a base for the QR codes. So by the time the QR codes are on here, it's going to be kind of hard to tell what these are, but she and I will both know exactly what they are because I went around after the movie and I scavenged as many of these leaves as I could. So I had enough leaves for both of us. All right, I'm going to trim these off. Okay, there's that. And then this is just going to get taped on here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I realized I left my QR codes in my other office. So I'm going to tape this down and then I'm going to go grab those. And then I can show you guys how I create the QR codes. Very easy, by the way. Very, very, very easy. Okay. So we've got this little flip here. This is going to flip up. We'll have some QR codes for the videos here. And then we've got all kinds of photos. So again, super easy. Took us no time to get that done. My Dorothy is having trouble sticking, but I may have to glue her down. All right, let me go grab the QR codes and I'll be back to add those to this page. Okay, so these are my QR codes. I've got 4 for my book and 4 for her book. I printed them both at the same time, just for ease, but I'll show you quickly the easiest way that I know how to do these. It literally takes no time at all, And this is really the only way I know how to do it. I don't know if there's other ways. I'm sure there's other ways. And I think it might depend on which photo backup cloud service that you use. So I use Amazon Photos. So if you didn't know, Amazon Photos is free if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber. You have access to the Amazon photo storage. So Amazon Photos has its own app. It has all of my photos. Every single one of my photos for years is in my Amazon Photos. It automatically backs up from the camera on my phone, and it's so easy to use. And again, it's free. So I pay a little bit extra every month to have added video storage. There is a small amount of video storage that is included, but if you want more, like I do, I pay a little bit more every month to have additional video storage. But photo storage, unlimited for free, as long as you're a Prime member. So what I can do is go in here and I can sort everything that's on my phone. Oh, this was last year. Oh, that's crazy. I can go into my videos. So there's a little tab here for videos. Whoops, gosh, sorry guys, let me show you that. Look, Barry was a year ago. That's so crazy. But there's a little tab here for videos. So I click on that and it's going to bring up all of my videos. So I just need to go through and find the videos that I want to create QR codes for. So I know that there's 4 of them in here. So let's just take this one. So this one is a video of the tornado. So crazy. Oh no, I'm sorry, this was Dorothy's house. This is the part where I was just like blown away because I'm panning the camera around the whole sphere and it's just Dorothy's house. It's crazy. So in here, I've got this link to share. And if I click on that link, it's going to create a shareable link. And this is what you want. Whichever photo service, however you do this, you want to create a shareable link. And I don't know if you can see that, but it creates a link to this particular Amazon video. So if I click over here and hit copy, it's going to copy my link. So it tells me it's copied. And then you just need to go into any QR generating app. There's a ton of them out there. The one that I happen to use is called QR Tiger. It's completely free. I've used it for years. I've never had to pay. So you can create QR codes of all different things. You can create a QR code for an MP3. You can create a QR code for an email, Wi-Fi, but you're going to want the URL. So I click on the URL, and then right here, it says, please fill the website address. I tap there, and I'm going to paste that Amazon address in there. So now I'm going to hit generate QR code. And there's my QR code. So from here, I'm going to click on download for free, and it is going to save it in my photos. So if I go to my photos, there's my QR codes. So from here, because I've used Amazon Photos, my QR codes are now backed up to my Amazon cloud. They back up instantly. All of my photos instantly go to the Amazon cloud. Because this is in my photos, this is now in my Amazon cloud account. So the easiest way for me to do this, there's a couple ways actually. So you can go ahead and print them directly from your phone. But what I like to do is go to my desktop computer, and I open up my Amazon Photos app that is on my desktop computer. I download my QR codes and I paste them into a Word document. That way I can create my QR codes to be whatever size I want. So that's how I've got them so small. So you can see they're very, very easy to create. It's a matter of creating a shareable link and pasting that link into a QR code generator and then printing them out. So that's how I do them. That's just the easiest way for me. I've done it that way for a very long time. So now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cut my QR codes out. I'm going to save 4, and that's going to go. I need to put those in my journal later, but I'm just going to trim these down. I have gone through already and just tested them to make sure they work, and they work beautifully. I've never had them not work. So, oh, I just cut that one. Let me see if that still works. I cut that one a little bit short, and it does. So it takes me right to my Amazon.com. If I open it up, there's my video. So it still works. All right, so I'm gonna cut these out, and then we're gonna add them right here on the back of that. So all my QR codes are cut out. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put them here. So I think I'm just gonna put, you know, put them in little 4 equal spots here. And it doesn't matter which way they're facing, which direction. You don't have to be mindful of that. Sometimes when I'm resizing them, they flip in the Word document, and that's totally okay. They still work exactly the same. So, okay. So there's all 4 of my QR codes. And because I've used them in my journals before, she will know exactly what to do when she gets this. So literally you open your camera and you scan one, and it's going to open up that link that says Amazon.com. And then it's going to take you straight to my video. Perfect, right? I love it so much. Let's try another one. Make sure that they all, I've already tried them all, but oh no. This one's different. I think I've got 2 QR codes that are the same. This one is different. Let's see. Did I print? This is the one where we were laughing so hard. We were laughing so hard. It was so funny. Okay, I think I've got 2 that are the same. So let me double check. Yep. Oh, no. Okay. They are different. It just scanned the other one. Okay. I thought I had done it right, but sometimes when they're that close together and you scan them, you'll catch the scan of the other one. So funny. Okay. So that is good. We've got all 4 of our scans there. These pages are done. Okay. So now moving on, I need to create another insert here. So what had happened was after I got done doing the pages in my journal, I realized that I had a couple, I had one of the little die cuts from this pack left over. And it was the scene with the poppies, with the 4 of them running through the poppies. And I thought, I have poppy photos. I know I took photos of the huge poppies on the screen. Where are they? So I went back through my Amazon account, found my poppies, downloaded them, but I didn't have anywhere to really fit them. And so they ended up fitting right here in this spot. Obviously, I didn't create a page for this, so we're going to have to do kind of the same thing that we did over here, where we just inserted another page. So that's what I'm going to do with these poppy pictures. Let me grab them. See where they're at. Let's see. Okay, they are right here. Okay, the rest of those go over here. All right, so I've got these poppy pictures, and I'm going to use this poppy paper. Again, this is from the Wizard of Oz collection. So I'm going to use these to add this little die cut. I didn't want to use everything in that pack except for this little die cut. And because I knew I had poppy pictures somewhere, I wanted to use them. So you can see there's 2 4x3s on this, but there's the one of Dorothy asleep in the poppies. And then this was just kind of cool. Like the whole sphere looked like these poppies. So I just took a picture of that. It was so cool. So we've got these poppy pictures that I want to make sure that we insert. So let me get those done. I'm going to trim off that little part that doesn't need to be there. Okay, so on this, we're going to add this little picture of Dorothy, and then we're going to add these poppies. Now I think I can probably trim this background down a little. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. So I just need to pop these poppies on here. Okay, there's that one. And this one. Okay, so now I can trim a little bit of this off. So let's do that. All right. And then on the back side, I'm just going to add this other poppy photo with this die cut. So it's just going to look like that. Something, again, plain and simple, super easy. I'm going to actually pop this down first so I don't have to lift my photo to add it. Okay, so we're just going to pop that right there. And then we'll put this on the bottom. It's going to cover up that die cut a little bit, but that's going to be okay. Okay, so we've got that. We've got that. Now, I wanted to add something. I just add the word poppies because if you're familiar with the movie, this is what the Wicked Witch is like, poppies, poppies. So we're just going to add poppies with these stickers. We're just going to add it right to the photo. Okay, and then I just need to grab the dot. And there we go. Okay, so that little insert is done. So then I just need to grab my tape and we're just going to tape it in. So easy to do. All right. Add that there. Add another piece on the back. Okay. Ta-da. We've added this little insert. I do need to trim this little piece of tape off. Okay. Easy, right? Easy, easy. Okay, I've got a few more pages in here to do, but I think I'm going to end this part right now. This has been a pretty long video already, so I'm going to end this part here. I think I will film a part 2. I've got this page and this page to do. This page will have another flip on it, but I think I'm going to do that in a separate video rather than make this one another, 20, 30 minutes long. But thanks so much for joining me for this part today. If you're interested in seeing how part 2 turns out, come on back for part 2. But I'm going to keep going on this and see how much longer it takes me to get this done. And then we'll move on to a different section. So if you have any questions, any comments, leave them for me down below. Thank you guys so much for joining me for part 1. And I will see you guys later. Take care and have a great day. Bye.